Welcome to our XNES Forex Broker Review. I'm Noam.
And I'm Justin. We've been comparing Forex brokers for over a decade now, and we've been looking to the latest when it comes to CFD and Forex trends.
XNES is a high leverage Forex broker, and in this video, we provide a comprehensive analysis of how fantastic they really are. All right, Justin, let's go over XNES. It's a broker that we haven't really covered too much before, mainly because most of the brokers that we have looked at in the past have been geared around Australia, around the UK, US, Canada, etc. And XNES really are catered more towards people in developing countries like India, Vietnam, etc. Before we kind of get into the categories that we want to cover today, do you want to just give the guys back home a quick analysis of XNES?
Sure, so let me sum it up by saying that they are a Cyprus-based broker and they've got CySEC and FCA T1 regulation. But their popularity in that region is very low. As Noam said, their popularity is in other regions where they have T3 regulators. So like their number one area of popularity is India, Thailand, Vietnam. So all these types of regions is where they're very popular. And primarily the reason that they are so popular is their trading platform, which we'll go into later, but it's their leverage. So they offer leverage of up to 2,000 to 1. So at $100, that's $200,000 that you could effectively be exposed to the market if you've got a $100 deposit. And that is a very, very high level of exposure to the market. It means just a very small movement in the market will mean that you'll double your money or you'll lose it all. So we don't generally recommend anybody trades for that level of leverage, but certainly we understand that in these markets people do like very high leverage. Obviously that's why the broker's so popular, and that's why they're in somewhere like the UK where leverage is capped, very few people have heard of them or trade with them, whereas in an area like India, very, very popular and almost a household name.
Okay, so let's go through the categories that we wanted to cover off today. Maybe let's start with fees and leverage, because you can't really talk about leverage and you can't really talk about fees with XNES without kind of talking about both topics specifically. So what did we think about XNES when it came to fees and leverage?
Okay, so you're going to have to make a balance here. Okay, so normally a broker will offer 30-to-1 leverage. They offer up to 2,000 to 1. So if a broker's going to offer 2,000 to 1, they're going to have to offset with high fees. That's just how it is. If you're offering lower leverage, it's much easier to be onboarding these types of traders, and therefore the fees can be lower. So they focus on the standard account that has no commission, but much higher spreads than something like a raw account. And when we compare, if you look at our website, we compare trading fees every single month. They have significantly higher spreads than any other broker. So if you are going to get 2001 leverage, you're going to have to pay for it, and that is one of the biggest downsides of XNES and why generally we don't trade with the brokers, because we understand that fees are one of the most important attributes long term to impact your profit and loss, and therefore we're trying to keep our fees low, and XNES doesn't allow us to achieve that.
Okay, look, I think that's probably a good segue to our next category that we were going to review, and that's the area of regulation. Obviously we mentioned at the top of the video that XNES are devoted or kind of catered more towards traders in developing countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, Pakistan, etc. that you mentioned before. Obviously, traders in these countries are, depositing smaller amounts in their trading accounts compared to developed countries like Australia, UK, Canada, etc. So that's probably why they do offer like higher amounts of leverage, to allow traders in these countries who are depositing very small amounts to kind of maximize their gains through market movements at high leverage. It obviously comes with a risk, but talk to the guys about the regulation.
So they have a lot of regulators, okay? And what they do is when they onboard you, they'll look at which region you're a resident of, and they will align you to the regulator that's either in your region or close to your region. So if you're based in South Africa, one of their top most popular areas, they're regulated actually in South Africa by the FSCA. Now that regulator does allow high leverage, and once again, so giving those people the opportunity to trade at up to 2,000 to 1. Now, if you're in the UK, you're not going to be able to trade with the FSCA. You're going to then get their FCA division, but that's going to completely change the type of broker you're dealing with. Your leverage is going to be 30 to 1. The trading conditions are not going to be suitable, hence they are really not popular in that region. So it really comes down to where you are, what regulator you're aligned with. That regulator, of course, is going to set your trading conditions such as leverage, but also your protections. So if you're in an African-based regulator, you may not have negative balance protection. The funds may not be segregated from the actual broker themselves. They may not be a trading standard. These types of protections that are offered only by Tier 1 regulations may not be offered by the regulator that they are assigned to you. So there's an upside and a downside, but we just got to caution you, if they are offering you 2001, there is a high risk involved, and you should only trade with the amount you're willing to lose. And check with Exness if they're going to offer you negative balance protection, because the last thing you want to do is, let's say, deposit $200, lose $300, and then Exness tells you owe us an extra $100. So definitely check that the regulator they give to you is going to offer you balance protection, and understand those rules before you start trading with them.
Okay, so just quickly, so just looking here at some of the countries they're regulated in. So obviously the FCA in the UK, SISEC in Cyprus, that is kind of a gateway to Europe for them, the CMA in Kenya, the FSC in Mauritius, and the list goes on.
Yeah.
Okay, and the next category that we wanted to talk about was customer service. I know you and Dave analysed Exness's customer service quite closely. What did you find?
So once again, it comes down to the region that you're based in. So they are excellent at catering for the areas that they're strong in. So if you're a resident of India, a resident of Thailand, resident of Vietnam, they have excellent customer service for those local languages. When it comes to English and time zones like Australia, it's relatively poor. They're not catering for these areas. So what I'd say is that customer service is excellent for the types of traders that they're attracting. If you're based in India, they're going to be a lot stronger than most of the other brokers. Same if you're based in Thailand, it's quite difficult to get Thai-speaking customer service. They are very strong in these areas. So we're going to give them a big tick for that. But if you're based in the US, not that they onboard US traders, or Australia or UK, you're not going to get that same level of standard. So it's really horses for courses when it comes to their customer service.
Okay, so that's customer service. The next topic that we wanted to cover with Exness was their range of markets. What did you think of their range of markets?
So the range of markets is quite strong, and it really depends on the type of trading platform that you're going to go down. So most traders will use the Exness platform. I've tried it. When I opened the account, I actually wanted to try that platform, and I understand its popularity. It's very easy to use, really for beginner traders. So I believe that their popularity in these developing countries is based on their own proprietary platform and the ease of use to open the account, start trading, and the range of markets that you can access. You can access in such as share CFDs, forex markets, commodities, indices, cryptocurrencies. So it is a very great range of markets. The problem I've got is the more exotic the pairing or the crypto,
The instrument,
the higher the fees start becoming as well. So the spreads get wider and wider. So while they'll offer all these markets, if you're realistic about really trying to make a profit, you're not going to be able to trade probably 50% of them, because you're paying such a high premium as a spread. You'd really have to see a large change in that market in order to make a profit. So the chance of you making a loss is significantly high. So, so as I said, it's when most traders will use the Exness platform, which offers a wide range. They do offer MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. which are also quite popular. But generally, I'd say if you're choosing Exness, you're probably choosing them for their platform, and I'd go down that track if that's the type of trader that you are.
Okay, so let's just summarize this very quickly for the guys back home. So we said range of markets is decent, probably not on par with, let's say, your 8 caps of the world, but the offering that they do have is quite extensive. They offer all the key CFDs, cryptos, energy, stock CFDs, indices, etc., and of course Forex. Then we had a look at their customer service. Their customer service in countries, in like Southeast Asia and developing countries was very, very good, and their live chat and the way they communicate to their customers was in that local language. So if you're based in Vietnam, they were responding to people in Vietnamese. If you're based in Thailand, they were responding to people in Thai, etc. So excellent, we gave them a big tick there. Then we had a look at regulation. We mentioned that they do have a lot of licenses around the world. Most of their license are their tier 2, tier 3 licenses in countries like South Africa, like Kenya, like the Seychelles, etc. And the reason why they do have regulation in a lot of these like tier 2 and tier 3 countries is because they do offer significant leverage. They are well known for effectively offering unlimited leverage, but it is capped at 2,000 to 1. You're obviously not going to get that if you trade with them in the UK. They do have an FCA license as well. They're obviously bound by the regulator there and offering traders 30 to 1. The next topic that we looked at was trading platforms. They do offer MT4 and MT5.
But most traders will use the Exness platform, which is probably one of the easiest to use of any broker. Just if you're a bit more of an advanced trader, it's not going to have what you're looking for.
Okay, and then the last topic that we covered was we spoke about fees, and when we spoke about fees, we also spoke about leverage, because you can't really talk about one without the other when it comes to Exness. Given they offer huge amounts of leverage, it obviously means that they're going to kind of sting you on trading fees.
Yeah.
So just keep an eye out for that. Their fees are on the expensive side because of the leverage that they're offering. But again, if you are a trader in a developing country like a Vietnam, like a Thailand, like a Pakistan, like an India, etc., your deposit size is probably going to be smaller than if you were trading in Australia or if you were trading in the UK, which is why they offer that, the huge amounts of leverage to be able to allow traders to maximize their gains on small deposit sizes. Again, leverage, dual-edged sword, very, very risky, especially if you're taking on leverage at that high amount. So be careful, don't bite off more than you can chew. Was there anything else that we covered?
Just the fee element. So if you're trading large amounts, or you plan to trade a lot, we'd probably recommend another broker, because the fees are just too high, and they will bite into your profits over the long term.
Okay, guys, there you have it. That's our Exness review. If you like this video, please don't hesitate to like, share and subscribe, and let us know in the comment section down below if there are any other topics or any other Forex brokers that we haven't looked at yet that you'd like us to review. Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you.